Hey everybody, happy Black History Month, and this is day 3. I'm using my microphone because my neighbors are really noisy today. So we're gonna do on how I budget while unemployed. It's really tough. It's been, oh, hi, sorry. I'm so used to just anyway. So it's this is new to me. Trying to get used to daily vlogging. Usually I'll set aside like a Friday or Saturday to vlog, but daily vlogging is totally new and it's a whole new beast. So sometimes I forget the etiquette. And welcome to Lauren and Claude. He's down there. This is my makeshift office, like I said in yesterday's video. I had a recruiter call this morning, and so I'm at a lull. I'm trying to stay upbeat, but it's like the usual questions, and I know that I have to answer the usual questions and yada yada yada. But it can get really taxing. It can get wearing on your mental health, and so there's that. So how do I budget? Honestly, I'm not doing well at budgeting, but I am in a sense, because I have set aside money to pay my rent, and I do have some funds that are available to me to like buy groceries and stuff like that. But spending on other things just have literally gone out the window. I have not really done much of anything since I got back to San Francisco. Uh, so there's that. And just the general, like your internet, my cell phone, all those different bills. And so, you I have to have internet because one, I'm applying to jobs and a lot of it is Zooms and different things like that. So I am in the process of cutting out. I should have did this a while ago, but I am in the position of cutting out like my Disney Plus, my Apple, and all that. So that's getting nixed this month. Uh, and I really enjoy those programs. I watch them, but honestly, I cannot afford the expense anymore. So so I'm just gonna make this executive decision to really cut those things out. One thing that I did pay for the year was my LinkedIn Premium, and the way that I justified that is that it's a necessary expense, and I remember the days when LinkedIn was not costly. I think that oftentimes, like places like LinkedIn really take advantage, and I think lots of job employment agencies or whatever, not agencies, but lots of employment apps, they really take advantage of people, especially when they know that they are in dire straits. They will do all that they can to get nickel and dime you. Like, let's say you see a job and you click through and it's like, oh, you can't see the full job until you pay for this. That to me is like robbery, and I think there needs to be, if a job is available, it should be a job for everybody. And I'm going through employment development department. I'm utilizing that application as well as LinkedIn. But in all honesty, LinkedIn is probably the best place, and it's unfortunate that it's like one of the only places. I mean, you can go through Glassdoor and you can go through lots of these like remotejobs.com and all these little remote only, or it's all they're pulling a lot of their roles out of LinkedIn. Uh, you know, Budgeting is really about, for me, is about really cutting out unnecessary things that I don't need. I think tomorrow I'm going to really go over like some of the things that, like some of the empties that I have. No, I'm not going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do that, save that for next week, because next week I'm going to really talk about like mainly fashion skincare. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to like plot my days, because I am actively looking for a new role. So there are some times when I've like put everything on days in which I'm going to be talking about different things. But yeah, so budgeting, it's I've I can be better at it. But one of the things that I think I tend to do is I tend to go, oh, you know what, it's okay. That little $5, it'll just be, no, $5 will add up, and it'll add up, and it'll add up, and it'll add up, and then you have no more money. So you really have to be really particular in what you want to spend your money on. And that has really been a game changer for me, is that realistic. And, people don't want to be around you when you don't have money. Your friends don't want to go out to drink because you don't have money. So you know what, during these times, you really, really find out who really loves you, who really cares about you, who really values you, is that you find out during these times, these stressful times. Not to say that, these people have to be, falling in love with you, but, it really behooves you to really evaluate friendship and what that means. So there's that. But generally, budgeting, it is a unmanageable beast if you allow it to get out of hand. Like if you have credit card debt, you start acquiring things, you start paying for things with credit cards, and that can just be overwhelming. So sometimes you're forced to use your credit card because that's the only means that you have to support yourself. So I'm not saying don't use it, but I'm like, be very, very specific and intentional about where you use it, because that could start acquiring lots of debt. So you definitely want to be wary of where you use your credit cards and what you use your credit cards for. And if it's like, a slice of pizza, that's stupid. Honestly, that's a stupid way to use your credit card. Use it for something that is essential to you, your livelihood. Like you need to pay a light bill, or you need to pay something like that. That's when you want to utilize your credit card. But in reality, honestly, you don't want to utilize your credit card. But if that's all you have, then definitely utilize that. But be very wary and careful of where you kind of spend that money. But yeah, so I'm so blessed that I had an emergency fund, that I had been putting money away. But that doesn't last forever, and so yeah, there's that. And I'm trying to remain upbeat. And there's times when I do get weary, my soul gets weary, and I get tired, and I get stressed, and I have to fight that fear, fight that fear away. So we're just gonna, it's hard. It's really hard. But if you're going through the same thing, you know what it's feeling like. There's ups and downs. There's highs and lows. Sometimes you feel like, I got this, and other times you feel like, and this especially always happens after a call, because the people who when you're interviewing, recruiters if a good recruiter can explain to you what the role is and detail out and then give you a snapshot of what it would take and what it would require to work there. But then you have some recruiters who just, they give you nothing. They give you nothing. And you're supposed to be chipper, and you're supposed to be all these different things. And that's very hard as well. So, moral of the story is don't ever lose your job. And it's through no fault of your own. Someone who makes millions of dollars decides that they want to do this, and then you're affected. So the best thing is to always keep a success doc, a hype doc of what you did. And I was always meaning to start that, and I just didn't do it. And so now it's trying to have to do a little recall of all the things that you've accomplished, all the things that you've been good at. What are you successful at? And so it's trying to take all those things and put that into a document that you can talk about in your experience and what you've done. So I'm sort of budgeting. I need to be organized. I need to get more organized. I'm living and just like, I'm not living, I'm surviving, and that's just today. Today I'm surviving. Tomorrow I might be living, but today I'm surviving. And you're going to see this, because it's real, life is happening. And yeah, so sorry it's not as upbeat as I normally am. I do get in my grooves. I get in my grooves, and yeah. So day 3, unemployment, budgeting, and being better at budgeting. Do not spend unnecessary on things that you do not need. You do not need a new lipstick. You do not need a new purse. You do not need these things. All of these things are not necessary. I'm telling myself this. I'm telling myself this. And today I'm going to really do a lot of self-care, because my heart needs it. It needs repair. Only because my worth is not with my job, but my living is with my job. I need to live, I need to eat, I need to have shelter. And so, the grace of the universe, I'm going to start. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see day 4 tomorrow. We'll talk about, I think we talked about on day 1 about tailoring our resumes for each job. We're going to just kind of have to start doing that, because I'm getting traction with my resume, but we want more traction. We want more. So that might be something we talk about, or I think better yet, we'll just talk about organizing and self-care. And then I have to do a grocery list for this month, and what I'm going to put on this month, because I make my meals. And I usually like to make something that'll last, budget. Make something that'll last for 4 or 5 days. And then I have Claude here, so I have to make sure that he has food and water and different things like that. So thank you so much for listening to me. This really helps. And walking outside, getting clarity, that helps as well. So thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye.